The smell of industrial carpet cleaner at 3:14 a.m. in a midtown office is the only thing you know about Tuesday. At level 8, you do not argue the law. You call the person who wrote it and tell them why they are going to change the phrasing of the amendment. You sit in a windowless room on the 42nd floor of a building on Avenue of the Americas. You click through 4,200 emails in a discovery production for a patent infringement suit. You look for a specific mention of a 2023 prototype. Your coffee is cold. Is the prototype even real? You tag the 401st document as privileged and move to the 402nd. The clock on your monitor says 2:48 a.m. The 2026 Cravath scale sets the market rate for first-year associates at a $250,000 base salary. The National Association for Law Placement reports that most big law firms require a minimum of 2,000 billable hours per year for bonus eligibility. You tell yourself that every tagged email is a brick in the foundation of your reputation. You click the mouse. You receive a 150-page stock purchase agreement at 9 p.m. You compare the new draft against the version from the previous night. You find 12 instances where the seller's counsel weakened the indemnification clause. You mark them in red. Thomson Reuters data shows average annual billable hours for junior associates exceed 2,500 during high-volume M&A cycles. The American Bar Association reports that lawyers are 3.6 times more likely to suffer from depression than non-lawyers. You send the document back to the senior associate at 4:15 a.m. You tell yourself that the red lines on the screen are the only way to prove you were in the room. You walk to the elevators. You wait for the Uber Black to take you to your apartment in Long Island City. You manage 4 juniors on a $2 billion cross-border acquisition. You check their drafts for typos in the definitions section. Mid-level associates in the United States earn between $310,000 and $390,000 annually. You dial into the 11 a.m. status call with the client's general counsel. You explain why the closing date must slide by 3 days. You miss your sister's wedding rehearsal. The NALP Foundation reports that over 70% of associates leave their first firm before their 5th year. You walk to a storefront on 5th Avenue during your 20-minute lunch break. You buy a $4,000 watch. You tap your card against the glass terminal. You do not look at the final total on the screen. You tell yourself that the watch is a tool for time management, not a trophy. You draft the summary judgment motion for a class action suit in the Southern District of New York. You find the single precedent from 1984 that makes the plaintiff's argument irrelevant. Senior associates at Vault 10 firms handle 80% of the substantive drafting for complex litigation. You sit in your office. You write for 12 hours straight. You drink 3 bottles of sparkling water. The average student loan debt for law graduates exceeds $160,000, according to the Education Data Initiative. You do not check your personal phone. You review the citations. Who actually reads page 84? You hit send on the final filing at 11:59 p.m. You tell yourself that the law is a puzzle, and you are the only one with the missing piece. You occupy an office with 2 windows now. You handle specialized regulatory filings under the Investment Advisors Act. The equity partners do not read the underlying statutes. National Association for Law Placement data shows the up or out window typically occurs in years 7 through 9. You are in year 10. You are not a partner. You are no longer an associate. You bill 1,800 hours for the year. You receive your designated base pay. Industry compensation reports show the counsel track results in a 20% lower compensation ceiling compared to equity partners. You have no vote in the firm's equity decisions. You watch 3 junior partners discuss the year-end distribution in the hallway outside the main conference room. You return to your desk. You open a new document. You tell yourself that stability is more valuable than a seat at the table. The sun rises over Manhattan. You sit in a corner office. You sign the partnership agreement. American Lawyer reports place initial capital contributions for new partners from $100,000 to over $500,000. You wire $150,000 for your capital contribution. You spend your mornings on the phone with potential clients. You attend 3 charity galas in a week. You do not bill for the time. You look at the quarterly profit per partner projections. American Lawyer data lists profits per equity partner at Kirkland & Ellis above $7 million. You check the firm's credit line. You sign the check. You sit on the board of a Fortune 500 company. You receive a call from the CEO at 2 a.m. on a Sunday. You do not provide a legal opinion. You provide a strategy. You tell him which regulator to call. You tell him which media outlet to ignore. The 2024 Citigroup Law Firm Leaders Survey reports realization rates above 85%. Senior partners control books of business worth more than $20 million. You approve the $12 million bill for the quarter. You eat a salad at your desk. You hang up the phone. You meet a member of the Senate Finance Committee at a private club in Washington, D.C. You discuss the language of a proposed tax amendment. You explain why a single word change will save your clients $400 million. The senator nods. The word is changed in the final draft. Open Secrets reports direct spending on federal lobbying reached $4.27 billion in 2023. The top 1% of legal earners in the United States control the lobbying efforts for the largest financial institutions. You fly back to New York on a private jet. You look at the lights of the city. You do not see individual buildings. You walk to the car. A young man in a poorly fitted suit enters the lobby of the building on Avenue of the Americas. He carries a leather briefcase. He holds a printed map of the 42nd floor. He stops at the security desk. He waits for his badge. You walk past him toward the revolving doors. Do you remember the day you first walked through those doors? You do not look at his face. The security guard nods as you pass. You step onto the sidewalk. You wait for the door of the town car to open. The building stays lit until the sun makes the lights redundant.